Hi, welcome to Project Geospatial. I'm Adam Simmons here at the GEOINT 2025 Symposium in St. Louis, Missouri. This round, I have the pleasure of talking to Bill Conroy with Semaphore Maritime Solutions. Is that correct?
Yep.
Thank you, sir. Well, we're going to get started. I want to learn a little bit about you first. So if you wouldn't mind, I would love to learn about your background and how you got involved with the industry.
Yeah, so, I, like most people, went to college right out of high school. I thought it was pretty boring, actually. I was looking forward to it, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to just drop out and join the Coast Guard. That was a great move in retrospect. I got to travel, work on the seas. I actually worked on the Arctic icebreaker, Coast Guard cutter Keely.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was up the Arctic for about 2.5, 3 years, every summer. It was in Seattle, so it's getting cloudy. And right when, it's getting sunny, and right when it's starting to get sunny, it's time to go up to the Arctic. So, I did that, got out, went back to college, studied GIS. Working on a boat, I was always working with the maps on the bridge. I just, I always just like maps, so I got into this. Went to grad school in Sweden, also dropped out of there, and just went back to sea. So, it's kind of hard to shake sometimes, that lifestyle. It's you get out, you see stuff. It's it's just very novel, exciting, eventually got a little old and started pivoting back to my GIS background. And I worked for Garmin doing hydrographic surveying. I got in with NGA just working on their nautical charts.
Okay.
It was the same charts that I was using in the Coast Guard, actually. Did that for about 4 years and saw some opportunities out here in the commercial space just to get out of the skiff, see what was going on out here. And I didn't even realize how much I'd like just collaborating with all these people that you meet here and different companies. And you meet somebody new almost every week, and somebody's doing something interesting, and it's just it's an interesting lifestyle, honestly. So I wouldn't have thought, you drop out of college, you can start your own company. But actually, I guess that's kind of common now that I look back and, who's all getting these big companies going.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, talk a little bit more about the company. Who is Semaphore Maritime Solutions, and what's your involvement with it?
So yeah, it's just me right now. I started about a year ago after I got out of my second stint at NGA. I primarily do jobs with the U.S. Space Force TAC SRT program. A combatant command will put in a data request for something that's unclassified, so it's shareable with partner nations.
Right.
They don't got to worry about any non-shareability agreements. And we will, I basically, I'll take their requests and analyze the maritime situation at sea. I did get my third mate's license to drive a ship of any size. So,
okay.
I know if two ships are kind of meeting, I know which one should be navigating which direction based on the laws of the collision regulations. Some people could pull a bunch of AIS data and they might not be able to make sense of it. I can sit there and say, okay, this ship was probably, trying to navigate safely, and that's why it got out of this situation this way. Some people, they see a bunch of ships go to a certain direction and it might be suspicious, but if you know like the weather conditions, or if you know what the traffic's doing in that situation, it'll make more sense. So I can take all this data, do sort of like a activities-based analysis of it and say, okay, this is not suspect, that's kind of suspect, etc. So just kind of giving the data that everybody out here is producing that analysts touch, basically.
Excellent. So in terms of what you do, I guess the basic question with so much of the maritime stuff that you're working on, analysis, why St. Louis? It seems to be an odd place right in the middle of the country to help people out with maritime stuff, but maybe it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, it's becoming kind of irrelevant where you are. NGA does have an office here, so I was working at the Maritime Safety Office here in St. Louis. And coincidentally, I grew up not too far from here, and just having the chance to come back here was great.
You must be a big user of their big giant port index, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's everybody. Yeah, it's funny to know about that. It's a great data set. It's I've got it actually in my platform over here. We're showing some people this GeoLM platform we're coming up with. It's one of the foundational data sets for ships. Where are
I
they
think
coming
it's
from?
used commercially more than people realize,
Yeah.
and I think it's one of the underappreciated data sets that NGA actually pushes out to the open world,
Yeah.
or at least they have in the past.
Well, that's funny you mentioned that data set. Here in St. Louis, one of the co-owners of that product is here in St. Louis.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's
So,
awesome.
behind the scenes maritime hotspot, St. Louis, Missouri.
Awesome. Well, in terms of what else do you do in terms of how expansive, in terms of your client base that you work on, what are you trying to do to grow your business here in St. Louis?
Yeah, so the first year was just sort of getting, my feet wet, like writing contracts, doing the jobs, setting up the corporate structure, getting everything insurance-wise for my family set up. I've never been self-employed before, so just a lot of behind-the-scenes work that if you're just an analyst for NGA, you just don't really think about until
Right.
Something comes up on PeopleSoft, and then you have to go do that or whatever. But for the next year, I would definitely, part of the growth strategy is just coming here. This is a great opportunity. The next time it's going to be in St. Louis. I think it's like 2029, right? So, I got to go now. It's going to be 3 years, right? In this, I got to drive out to Colorado or something. So, it's a nice short commute to this one.
Great. Well, anything else that you would like people to understand about what you do and what the company does that you want them to know?
Yeah, there's a lot of people here that they are somewhere on the maritime intelligence cycle. Like a lot of satellite products where they're detecting ships, etc. And I can take those pieces that they have and make them more insightful when I put that in context with other sorts of data sets that are out there. So, if anybody needs like a maritime subject matter expert, give me a call. If we have to grow, I know plenty of other sailor types that are out there that are looking for a place to get out of the skiff. So
Great. Well, to find out more about your company, where would they go?
they go to my website, www.semaphoremaritime.com. I'm on LinkedIn also. It's SEMAPHORE maritime.com.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah,
Let
thank
me
you.
know a little bit about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really awesome career you got there in terms of your background, especially with the ice, up there in the Arctic.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And I appreciate you giving us some insights about your company too. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome. I'm Adam Simmons of Project Geospatial. Thanks for listening and watching. We'll talk to everybody next time.